So welcome to today's bike ride. It's a Saturday, it's the 25th of May, and today I'm just going to review my DJ Osmo Action 3 camera. I've had it for a couple of weeks now, so I'm thinking I'm in the position now where I can give it a decent review and give you some of my thoughts of how I think it performs as an action camera, certainly for use on your bike. And the weather's phenomenal. It's a beautiful day, hardly any clouds in the sky. There's a bit of wind, but it's good weather for testing an action camera because they need the light. Not so good in poor light condition. So I think this will be a good test for the DJ Osmo Action 3. I'll take it for about 20 miles, take it on some country roads, see how the image stabilization performs, and check some of the other features out. So let's go for a spin. So I'm currently using the camera in 2.7K, 60 frames per second, with ultra wide setting. I think this is really my optimum setting for this camera, because this gives a view like a first person shooter, really, almost as if you're riding the bike with me in ultra wide mode. And also at 2.7K the files aren't so ridiculously huge to edit and upload onto YouTube. If you start using 4K 60 frames per second, the file size are just huge. So what do I think of this camera? So I only have one other camera to compare to, and that's my Wolfang GA300, which really served me well for the first couple of months of cycling. I thought the image quality of that camera was pretty excellent, and the image stabilization was fairly good as well, especially in decent light conditions. The only problem I had with the Wolfang really was that the field of view was quite narrow, and also the microphone, both internal and external, was pretty useless. The internal microphone, once it was in the box, you couldn't hear any audio at all. Out of the box, all the buttons used to rattle around, and that was picked up by the microphone. Using the external microphone, well, that worked okay, but I had real trouble with the connection of the microphone. To be fair to Wolfang, they did send me a new microphone, but it wasn't that. It was actually the connection on the camera itself that was causing the trouble. So I upgraded to this DJ Osmo Action 3. Did a lot of research on it. Searched the pros and cons, what people think about it. But most people I've seen reviewing these cameras, or all action cameras really, they just seem to walk around a field or a garden, and for me that's not real review. If you're using a camera as an action camera, which these cameras are, you need to get out on a bike or skiing or something and prove it in that usage. Just walking around in a garden is no real test for me. You can do that with a mobile phone and do some post-processing on the image stabilization, it'll be fine. These cameras are specifically designed for action camera work, so mounted on a car, mounted on a bike, motorbike, whatever. So they've got to prove their value in that situation as far as I'm concerned. Not only video, but also audio capabilities. So one of the many things I like about this camera is its ease of use while you're cycling. I can just press the start button, not the power on button. I can just press the start button and it'll start recording, and when I tell it to stop recording, it'll stop recording and then shut itself down. So yeah, the voice control of the camera is really good. You can start or stop it from recording, and you can also tell it to shut down as well, which is really good. It means you don't have to take your hands off the handlebars to control your recording, which is ideal when you're cycling. The image stabilisation is perfect, really. Got a few different modes. Rock steady, which is rock steady, and allows you to use the super wide angle field of view setting. And you've got rock steady plus, and that reduces the field of view a little bit. And then you've got horizon balancing, which keeps the horizon steady up to 45 degrees. And then you've got another horizon lock, or something it's called, which again just keeps the horizon steady at 360 degrees. So I can't complain about the image stabilisation. It's phenomenal, really. Yeah, image stabilisation seems perfect, really. Even on these bumpy roads, you can't see it, but these are country lanes. The tarmac's not smooth at all. And I've got the camera mounted onto the stem of the bike, really, which is where it gets the most vibration. The vibration's coming from the tyre straight up the forks into the stem of the handlebars. So it's probably the worst place to mount a camera, but it's a good test of the image stabilisation. And so far I'm very pleased with it. It is rock steady, as it says. You have got a lot of options when it comes to resolution. You've got 1080p, 720p, 2.7K, 4K at 60 frames per second. Actually 4K 120 frames per second if you need it. So more than enough, more than you require, really. I mean, if you're uploading or editing videos on your computer, when you start doing 4K 60 frames per second, the file sizes are just ridiculously huge. So I tend to use 2.7K at 60 frames per second most of the time, because it keeps the file sizes reasonable. So this is a test of the rock steady image stabilisation going down a fairly steep hill. Beautiful weather. Got to remember to stop here. Woo! So I've got to say, I'm really happy with my new setup of my DJI Osmo. I think I finally got it working how I expected it to work. Easy to control with voice command, and now I've got the microphone working. It's just a joy to use, really. I think I need to actually turn the gain down of the microphone because the wind is making it clip. That's another thing, you can actually control the gain of the wireless microphone, so you can stop it clipping your voice and causing distortion. So I might do that right now. There's the Duck Inn, famous pub where James Bond wrote his novels. Let's have a quick look at that. Ian Fleming. Let's see if we can find, should be a blue badge on it. Ian Fleming, 1908-1964, novelist. Wrote You Only Live Twice Here in 1964. There you are. I've just set the audio down to 5 dB at the gain, reduce the gain a little bit, stop it clipping. So I can just see there's a little monitor in the top right that shows you your audio level, and if it starts going red, you know you're going to start clipping the audio. And that's another great feature of this camera. Don't get too close. It's all right. All right. All right. Thanks. Always a bit wary of horses. And they're kicking the head off one of those. Or even just frighten them so they bolt on the rider. I guess if they're on the road, they should be road trained. That's the word. So I've got to say I'm 100% satisfied with my DJ Osmo Action 3. Everything about it is perfect. Image stabilization, the resolution, the image itself is absolutely fantastic. I've got no issue with focusing that some people have said they had in earlier versions, so they've obviously sorted that out. I'm really happy now I've got the microphone working. I'll show you quickly the microphone that I bought, just in case you're looking to buy one. So this is it, it's the Ulanzi. Comes in a little box. You get two transmitters and one receiver. It charges in the box as well. I think it's the J12, Ulanzi model J12, and that works perfectly with the DJ Osmo Action 3. Thanks to the guy who put that out on the forum. I really appreciate that. But I can actually confirm 100% that it works with this camera, and it's about £30 on Amazon. So brilliant. I'll check the audio, and to me it sounds really good. You can play around with the gain of the external microphone. So if it's clipping a little bit, you can turn it down a few dBs. This microphone itself has got noise reduction as well. You don't have to mess around setting the noise reduction, it's automatic. So I think I've got the perfect setup now. I'm really happy. I'm really happy because it was a big expense, and I could have carried on with the Wolfgang, but the frustrations that I was having with that camera were just too much. So I'm really pleased with this DJ Osmo Action 3. So I'll see you on the next one. Cheers, bye.